Welcome to the 8th draw of the 2019 U-18 Canadian National Championships in Sherwood Park, Alberta. My name is Dustin Mickish, and joined beside me is
Kyle Jans here.
We would like to begin by acknowledging that we are competing this week on the traditional lands of the Treaty 6 nations, including the Blackfoot, Cree, Dene, Gros Ventre, Métis, Nakota Sioux, and Saulteaux. Indigenous people were joined by settlers and pioneers who together built this great community of Strathcona County.
This morning here at the Glen Allen Recreation Complex, we have a quiet draw on this Friday morning with only 3 games happening here. Over on sheet B, we have in the girls division a Battle of Ontario. We have Northern Ontario versus Ontario. And then over on sheet D, in the boys division, Northwest Territories versus Ontario. But Dustin, here we have our battle between, in the feature game, New Brunswick and Saskatchewan.
Yeah, so just seeing the last stone draws, we have New Brunswick's first one coming up into the top 8. Here we see Saskatchewan's coming into the top 4. And we will see Saskatchewan have hammer here to start in the first end of play.
It's New Brunswick here. They curl out of the Curl Moncton Club, of course in Moncton, New Brunswick, led by Josh Nolan at skip, Will Robertson third, Isaiah Downey is second, and Jacob Nolan as lead. 3-1 record for these guys, battling, of course, the Saskatchewan team who's been just as competitive, Dustin.
Yeah, they have been here this week in Sherwood Park. They are also 3-1. We just see the first rock of the game here, throwing it to the top 4.
We see them going straight into the house. We see that a lot in the first end, is that these teams wanted to get a feel for each other right now and not just trying to keep it simple at this point.
Yeah, teams want to get a feel here in the first end, not maybe looking to mix it up till later in the game. We have seen some games this week have lots of rocks in play in the first few ends, so we do see an open first end here to start. And Team Saskatchewan here, we have lead Ethan Nygaard, second Braden Fleshhacker, third Nathan Pomedley, and skip Jaden Bindig, and coach Vern Anderson from Wadena, Saskatchewan, and curling out of the Wadena Remax Curling Club.
So now we see that stone roll out, and it looks like we're going to be in for a little bit of a target practice through this first end here.
That's right here, teams running it up and down the ice.
It's Jacob Nolan here, lead. His brother Josh is the skip, and of course their father is part of the team as well, Daryl Nolan. Been coaching the team for many years now, since his kids started curling.
And here we have lead Ethan Nygaard, second rock in the first end here for Team Saskatchewan. Currently a grade 12 student at Wadena Composite School. Sweeper just cleaning this one, looks very close.
Play going right out to the wings now, as Isaiah Downey settles into the hack. 17-year-old grade 12 student. And Isaiah's been curling with Skip Josh for the past 6 years through much of his curling career here.
Here we see the replay just rolling out.
And he ideally would have liked to hit that a little more securely and get a little bit of an outside roll or an inside roll.
Yeah, maybe get a little bit of an inside roll. Now Team Saskatchewan has a chance to learn draw weight here for second Braden Fleshhacker from Fulda, Saskatchewan. Currently a grade 12 student in Humboldt.
So New Brunswick here, they've lost their first game against PEI, have since put up 3 straight, and that has been really one of the big keys to the game for them. They're really keen on getting some good rock placement. As cliche as it is, keep doing what they're doing. They've been doing a really good job, they say, of communicating during their shots, managing their sweeping, and also being patient. They also mentioned that they do tend to play a little bit more of an aggressive game. They have 11 steals throughout this event so far, and while it can be a little risky, it has paid off for them.
Yeah, definitely a key to their 3-1 start. They've been very gritty, getting those wins through stealing. Yeah, and in talking the teams to the game, keys for the game for Team Saskatchewan, we did talk to the teams prior to the game, and we did have a comment from second Braden Fleshhacker saying one of their keys would definitely be to not give up 5 like their last game against Alberta. But also their coach did say that their rock placement has been very good this week, and to keep that going for them here in their game this morning. But also to forget about the last game, and it is a game of inches, and sometimes it does go either way.
There's a lot to be said about being able to leave some of the bad games or the bad shots in the rear view mirror as you go forward, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. It's sometimes good to have a short memory. That game was yesterday afternoon, so they have had some time to regroup for this morning's game, and I don't think it will be an issue for them this morning.
So this here is third Will Robertson, 18-year-old, and he's in his first year of university at St. Thomas University, political science student.
And here we have third, Nathan Pomedley, currently a grade 12 student at Wadena Composite School.
Dustin, you, of course, have some familiarity at this event, being a 2018 silver medalist last year, and not only that, but having some familiarity with the Saskatchewan team as well.
Yeah, last year competing in St. Andrews, winning the silver medal. This is a great event, great opportunity for these young athletes to get experience on the arena ice and national stage at such a young age.
Both teams also noting that the ice here, well, for New Brunswick anyway, finding that it was a little bit faster on the curling club side, finding it close to home out here on the arena ice, managing lots of curl though, and really getting that rotation, which is super critical.
Yeah, the New Brunswick coach did mention prior to the game that the ice has been quite a bit faster here than their home club, but yet at the same time the curl has been similar to at home. And in talking to the Saskatchewan coach, they did mention that their home club in Wadena, the Remax Curling Club, that they have had to adjust to throwing a little bit more rotation here, but it has been very similar to their home club. It's a nice hit and stay from third, Nathan.
Connects nicely, sitting just in the back 4. Top 4 teams from each division in Pool A and Pool B will move on to a double knockout bracket this Saturday. Top 4 teams from that part will qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah, we do use a little bit of a different playoff system here at the Canadian Under 18 as composed to you might see at the Brier, the Scotties, or the Canadian Juniors. So the top 4 teams in each will do move on to the double knockout round to qualify for the semifinal, which is an Olympic-style 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3 game, with the winners of the semifinals going to the finals on Sunday afternoon.
Certainly a little different from the page system that many curlers and many people are used to watching and competing in. It does leave a little less room for error, as you still have to make sure that you are peaking and really playing your best curling towards the end of the week, and that's what we're seeing all of these teams build towards right now.
Here we have Skip, Jaden Bindig. currently a grade 12 student at Foam Lake High School.
Looking at a wide open house here, aiming to get it top 4 right now.
Yeah, and how we talked about the playoff system here, it is especially important to go into the double knockout round with some confidence. So this is a very big game this morning, but at the same time, with the round robin, very critical to get those early wins to make sure you qualify for the double knockout.
Powerful sweep there to get it top 12, but they ideally would have liked that to be a little further into the house, do you think? Or what do you think of that rock placement?
Yeah, maybe a little bit further on the tee line, but at the same time, very close. Skip for Team New Brunswick will be able to nose this and still be in the rings.
Josh Nolan, first year University de Moncton mechanical engineering student, been curling for 13 years, noting that he got into it because of his parents, including his father, who is sitting right behind the scoreboard right now as his coach.
Yeah, we often see at these national events that even though they are young athletes, they have been curling from a very young age. Lots noting that they have curled for 7 to 10 years already in their young careers.
Most of their life at this point. Yeah.
Exactly.
So Josh does roll out there, once again leaving it open.
So Skip, Jaden Bindig will look to blank this end here in the first.
That's always a shot that helps with the stats.
Yeah, sometimes it does definitely help with the stats.
So there we have it, one end down, blank end, as these teams will regroup and get ready for the second right away. Scoreless right here at Glen Allen Recreation Complex. And with that, New Brunswick will once again be throwing first rock, Jacob Nolan, and he'll be aiming to put this one right into the house here.
Yeah, so we did talk to the coaches, like we said a bit earlier, and the coach for this New Brunswick team did say how they are not afraid to keep it close throughout the game, and as long as they mathematically have a chance at the end, be very comfortable with that.
There's a lot to be said about that too, because just because you are playing a little bit more of an aggressive game style, and that is something that can put you behind, but to be able to have that confidence knowing that, hey, you might be 3 down with only a few ends to play, you can force, get a deuce, and you can still be right back into it.
Yeah, exactly. That comes into play for sure about how many you can be up or down with or without the hammer, and New Brunswick, like we said, they are comfortable with the game being tight, so that's why we might be seeing this open play as opposed to throwing a center guard. I'd like to think Team Saskatchewan is also very happy to have an open first couple ends here, just maybe to get comfortable at the ice.
Especially in a bit of a rebound effort for what they hope this game will be for them after the previous one.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely not a bad thing to just play a couple open ends just to get comfortable at the ice and, like you said, rebound from their game yesterday.
Wind will be pretty critical for both teams coming up as they have one more game each after this. Saskatchewan taking on Nova Scotia, who's had a very strong record throughout as well and is certainly going to be posing a challenge for them. And then this afternoon, New Brunswick will take on the team from Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah, definitely late here in the round robin, so every game is very important for also just the standings, but also Team Saskatchewan, they will be playing tonight Team Nova Scotia, the defending champions, so that will be a big game.
So we now see a corner guard in play.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a delayed corner guard as we play with the 5 rock rule here. Hitting the first one, but then throwing that corner guard on your second lead stone.
How have you found the 5 rock rule to really change your strategy this season, Dustin?
Yeah, this season we found the 5 rock rule definitely make the play very more aggressive, and there being way more rocks in play. But also early in the games, we have found them to be similar to the 4 rock rule, but yet we have also found that if you do get down a couple points, the 5 rock rule, you definitely can generate more points. Looks like second Braden Fleshhacker can see about half a rock here. We'll look to play about hack weight to remove it from play.
You being a Saskatchewan boy yourself have had some previous playing experience with Braden, is that correct?
That is correct. I have played with Braden. We, before coming to Alberta, did play with him for a couple years. Definitely a great curler. Have also played high school with a couple other boys here, Nathan and Ethan, before graduating grade 12. See a nice peel here from Team New Brunswick. So it looks like we will have another open end here in the second. See a hard sweep here from lead Ethan and third Nathan to try and get this into the rings or get a tighter corner guard. Nice shot from Braden.
And for a team that has been playing pretty aggressively, New Brunswick not taking too many chances at this point.
No, they aren't. They also could throw a center guard here, but I believe playing this end for blank is also they are very comfortable with. So this is both teams' first national live stream game, so maybe just looking to settle the nerves or just get comfortable with the ice here.
Dustin, how you having had that experience this year with Alberta at the 2019 New Holland Canadian Juniors, how do you kind of prepare for a game going in knowing that it's going to be nationally broadcasted as opposed to maybe a provincial or something like that?
Yeah, so both teams here, they did mention they, on their team accounts, do live stream their games, but it is a bit different with having a mic on the ice and 2 people commentating your game and being interviewed before the game and camera guy standing on the ice. So to prepare for the game, you try and prepare just like any other game, but you might just want to spend that extra time focusing on maybe just trying not to think about it more than anything and just play your own game and kind of try and forget that everything else going on and just get in your zone.
Will Robertson throwing here. In addition to being a competitive curler, he's in the process of becoming a competition certified coach as well.
Yeah, definitely good to give back to the sport, getting your coaching certificates or ice making courses. And just really, it makes you a better player. Personally, I do have my competition coach too, and it is a great program to be a part of. And you do get to learn a little bit from the coaching side of the game that you might be able to use a bit later on. Just coming up a little bit short here, but Team New Brunswick still electing to play the peel.
New Brunswick here as well. All four of the guys noting that some curlers that they admire are Kathy Overton-Clappin, who happened to bake them some cookies this week. So they wanted to send a shout out to Kathy O, thanking her for the baked goods, and just wanted to say hello.
Yeah, a lot of top players spending the time with other curlers or coaching at junior curling camps and getting to know the players. That is one great thing about our sport, that even the elite players do make the time to spend time with the young athletes.
Absolutely. Josh even noting here, of course, New Brunswick skip, he had a draw to the button contest with Kathy, and he won.
It's awesome. Here we have Skip Jaden Bindig's first rock here in the second end. And admiring other curlers in the sport, he did write that he does admire Kevin Cooey, skip of Team Canada at this year's World Championships happening right now in Lethbridge. Nice shot from Jaden, finding his draw weight here. It's a good spot for that rock. So we have skip of Team New Brunswick looking to play the hit and stick here in the second end for his last rock.
Had a similar shot last end as well. He did roll out, however, which did lead to that first blank. So we'll see how Josh reacts and settles in for the shot.
Sweepers on and off this one. Looks like it's a heavy clean. Looks close.
Always a good sign.
Yeah, for sure. And on the wings, there might have been some frost, so just wanting to keep a brim down to make sure it doesn't over curl and catch that frost. It's always nice to hear clean out of the line caller's hand, that's for sure.
Always a relief. Great work all week from John Wall, the chief ice technician, and his crew here. Haven't heard many negative things, if no negative things at all, about the ice. Everyone seems to be really enjoying the wait for it and really getting a good understanding of it.
Yeah, the players have been very impressed with the ice this week here in Sherwood Park. They did note the curling club actually is a little bit faster than here in the arena, but the curl is very similar in both centers.
And there
Nice
it
shot.
is. Another blank end from Saskatchewan.
Great shot from Skip Jaden.
So these teams heading to the third end now, still scoreless, sitting at 0-0. Saskatchewan will retain that hammer as we head into the third.
Yeah, so here in the third end of play, we'll see if Team New Brunswick does mix it up by throwing a center guard on their first rock, or if they're going to come into the top four again. Yeah, they did call it 3, so they are looking for a tight guard here, not afraid to mix it up here in the third. So it looks like we will have some rocks in play.
As a skip and you're throwing that first rock at the end, when do you think you say, all right, enough is enough, or when do you decide that it's a good time to switch it up?
Yeah, so I think it really depends on what team. If you look at a Jennifer Jones, she will not be afraid to mix it up in the first end, as other U-18 teams might not be afraid to either. I think it's really team dependent. I think both strategies do work depending on the team. I'd like to think after the first couple ends of play, you are comfortable with the ice, and after you're having a pregame practice. So I think now is a good time to start mixing it up a bit. This one just coming a little bit deep from Ethan.
Finishing back 12. So this will provide New Brunswick with an opportunity to be able to control that forefoot.
For sure, yeah. You definitely do want to stop above the tee line. So the lead for New Brunswick will have a chance to bury around their center guard.
Jacob Nolan, the younger brother of Skip Josh. Noting that this team has played 70 games this season, winning three Bonspiels as well.
Yeah, that is very impressive. Teams do now play quite a bit on U-18 tours or junior tours and do curl both categories. This Team Saskatchewan team has played a lot this year. They were a part of the Canada Winter Games process. They were not at the Canada Games, but did gain valuable experience from there, and also competing in the U21 playdowns. Team Saskatchewan did compete in one World Curling Tour event in Wadena, the Farmer's Edge Cash Spiel, which they would be able to gain valuable experience from as well.
Great shot from Saskatchewan there, top four. And if you look in the background there, you see a familiar face. You see two-time Brier champion, Pat Simmons, high performance director of Curl Sask as well, and he's had quite the busy season here.
Yes, Pat has had a very busy season. He has been working for Curl Sask for a couple years now, and he has been traveling to many of the national events, such as the Canadian Juniors and Canada Winter Games in Red Deer, helping the Saskatchewan teams out. It's very valuable having someone like Pat here at an event to help teams, that's for sure.
There's nobody more dedicated, I'd say, to the sport, especially within the province of Saskatchewan, really wanting to develop a team that will bring a lot of success at that national men's and women's level.
Yeah, for sure. We have seen the Saskatchewan teams have a great season. Robin Silvernagel, the skip for the Scotties this year, did win the bronze medal, the first medal for Team Saskatchewan in a few years. So definitely people like Pat and their high performance program definitely trying to raise their teams to be national contenders. We did see last week both Saskatchewan teams, Sherry Anderson and Bruce Corday of Saskatoon, Nutana Curling Club, did win the National Seniors, so will represent Team Canada at the World Seniors next season. Sherry will also be representing Team Canada at the World Seniors this year, as she is the 3-time now defending champion.
Just incredible, really. Just also speaking of prominent Saskatchewan curlers as well, Rylan Kleider having a great season this year, especially at that national junior level.
Yeah, Skip Ryland and his team from Saskatoon, they had a tremendous season, winning the bronze medal at the Canadian Juniors. As that was their 3rd time there, so getting that experience, they definitely had a very good week in Prince Albert at the New Holland Canadian Juniors. Skip Ryland was also asked by Team Tardy of Team Canada to serve as the alternate at the World Juniors, where they did win the World Championship in Liverpool, Nova Scotia.
Lots to look forward to in regards to the success of Saskatchewan curlers here.
That is definitely for sure.
Lots of play now here, all settled around that center line.
So here we see second Braden Fleshacker of Fulda. Sweepers are calling this one a little bit down, so they will look to sweep this one. That one just rubbing off the guard, does not spin into play.
So with Hammer there, their goal was to tuck one into the wing. Little light though for this one.
Yeah, maybe a little bit light, just over curled a little bit. Looked like the line would have been good, just needed a few more feet of weight. Now we will see Team New Brunswick attempt the run back.
Will Robertson bringing a little heat for this shot.
This rock looks a little bit wide. Maybe played that double peel. It's a great shot too. Bit of a plan B.
Opens things up nicely there, and it's also good to have a couple of your stones out front as opposed to seeing the other color.
Yeah, for sure. You can also run them back. They are very tight to the rings, so they are definitely usable rocks. Looks like Skip Jaden here looking to play the come around.
Alternatively, looking at playing a hit and roll to clear that front stone there.
Yeah, we also see Jaden signaling for the draw here to come top 12 or the hit and roll. I also think the teams might consider it a possibility to throw the guard. It's still pretty, it is Nathan's last rock, but throwing this tight to the top 8, that red will be very usable to run back. You need to also be careful here about not setting up a double for Team New Brunswick. So definitely need to be careful about that. Nice shot from Nathan here.
Very good placement. You know, they put down the broom. They wanted it swept to that spot at the top 8, and that's pretty much where they got it. That run opportunity is there. Is it possible to see them both go, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. If you hit about 3/4 to half a rock, you would be able to make the double. Looks like just playing normal weight, though, so I don't know if that's enough weight to make both of them go, but the rocks are very lively here, so there's a very good chance at that. Even just getting one of them to open it up would be a very big success for Team New Brunswick. So very big shot from third of Team New Brunswick, looking to play the run double potentially. Sweeper's hard on this one. Ooh, just jamming that. Still a very good shot though. Opens it up. They are sitting second shot. Here we see the replay. Just needed to hit that maybe a little bit thinner.
just clipping the back, but, on the bright side of things, it is behind the tee line.
Yeah, for sure, and it looks like Team Saskatchewan is going to look here to split the rings, try and not set up a double.
So where would be an ideal place splitting the rings? Would they want that to be kind of even in the back house, or are they trying to put one more top post to really reduce that angle so that it would be too thin?
Yeah, a little bit deeper in the house, try and reduce the angle so there is no double. Just looking here to sit second shot, as that is very crucial. We do see nice rotation on this stone from Nathan, so it should run nice and straight. Sweeper's really wanting to make this one even so there's no double. Just stopping a little bit high. So yeah, ideally, like we talked about, maybe wanted that to be a couple rocks wider so they make the double a lot tougher. Still a good shot though. That rock did run pretty straight down the sheet actually. I was a little bit surprised it didn't curl more. So here we'll have Skip of Team New Brunswick attempt the double.
Josh Nolan here, coming from a family that has been steeped in curling. His dad coaching and playing. He's also played 17 national championships, and his mom at 5, Scotty's Tournament of Hearts as well.
This rock looks just a little bit tight here. Might have to look at playing the double maybe the other way, but it doesn't curl quite enough for that, so it'll be a hit and stay.
Yeah, that one, it didn't look like it was going to get to where it needed to, and they either would have had to let it curl, but I think with that kind of weight, it wasn't going to be able to curl enough for that angle there to get it in the plan B.
No, for sure. Just maybe a little bit tight on there, that one. So Team Saskatchewan here will look to play the nose hit or maybe get a little bit of a roll.
And they'd like to see that roll go to the outside of the sheet?
Yeah, a little bit of a roll would be nice. Try and sit, make sure you stay for a second shot here. This will be Skip Jaden Bindig's first here in the third end. Sweepers are on this one. It looks pretty close. It's really curling. So we see the big roll here. Very nice shot from Jaden. That one would be a little bit of a plan B also, but it does roll buried.
Nearly completely frozen too.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Great sweep from Ethan and Braden. Coach Vern Anderson saying might be two of the best U-18 sweepers in the country. Is there a couple of Saskatchewan farm boys?
They are a couple of Saskatchewan farm boys, born and raised on the farm. Very strong sweepers, powerful. Keeping the rock straight, that's for sure.
So we'll see a freeze attempt here, and that looks to be the best way because it doesn't look like those two rocks are going to be able to get moved.
Yeah, no, it looks like we will see the freeze. This is definitely a good call. The run back, it is pretty close together, but if you ever did high side it and give Team Saskatchewan a draw for 3, so I definitely think playing the freeze here is the right call. So Skip of Team New Brunswick, last rock here in the third end for them. Big shot.
Taking ice just outside the 8-foot in the 12, and they're expecting it to curl all the way across.
Sweepers are signaling that this one is a little bit heavy, but just needs to curl. The weight looks very close. Great weight from Skip of Team New Brunswick, but just won't quite get that finished. You can see about all of that rock from behind the sheet. But definitely still a tough shot, though. You can't see all of it and would have to be very tight to the guard and have to be conscious of jamming.
Yeah, New Brunswick just couldn't get that curl enough there. You saw them sweeping for the curl to try and get it just tucked in a little bit behind. But like you said, partially covered, but most of it's open. Ideally, you imagine they'd be playing a hack weight or something like that, eh?
Yeah, I think a hack weight is definitely a great way to play, and I think it's the shot you have to play in this situation. But when you play that less weight, you have to be cautious of the rock not over curling, because when you play less weight, the rock does curl a bit more. So yeah, it looks like you can see about all of it, but anything high side would jam, so
Say close to nose will do that.
yeah, and that would be for a big 3 points. So here we have skip Jaden Bindick, last rock in the third end of play. Sweepers are on this one early. It's very nice coming in here. Oh.
And just clipping it a little bit, resulting in a jam.
Yeah, and that will be a steal of 1 for Team New Brunswick here in the third end. Not sure. The sweepers were on and off this one, so maybe just getting a little bit extra finish than expected here. Definitely was very close. That rock did curl a lot, and it definitely looked like it was more than hack weight, I would say.
I'd say, yeah, that looked like it was closer to bump or maybe even more of a control weight there, but it's still getting that curl. And yeah, the guys there just lifted their brooms up a little bit. Maybe it had to be a bit more of a heads down sweeping to get that, but results in a steal of 1 for New Brunswick.
Yeah, and we did talk earlier in the broadcast, the skip and coach of Team New Brunswick saying they have stolen a lot of ends this week here in St. Andrews, and they are one of the top leading stealing teams here. Can you just flag that one? It's a pretty big steal. Can you just flag that one? It's a pretty big steal point. Thanks. Getting underway here in the fourth end of play. Team New Brunswick throwing this one into the top house. Nice draw weight from the lead.
Now instead of seeing Saskatchewan chase it, we're going to see them put up a corner guard here and aim to generate some offense now.
Yeah, even end of play here. Definitely need to start generating some scoring opportunities. So playing the corner guard here.
And that will be a shot that they'll have to dust off and leave it behind them in the third as they set up here in the fourth.
Yeah, it's a long game here, so not too much to worry about on that one. Just want to try and rebound here, scoring your deuce in an even end. Team New Brunswick here looking to throw a tight guard. Looks like they're also not afraid to throw a guard here.
Saskatchewan would still feel pretty good about where they were at. I mean, they did have that opportunity to score 3, so it certainly wasn't a bad end by any means, but just kind of gives you an example of how one shot can really change an outcome of a game so far.
Yeah, Vern Anderson did say before the game that it is a game of inches, and yesterday it was not going their way, so maybe just not going their way on that one, but like I said, still a lot of game time here left. Nice shot from the lead of Team New Brunswick. Probably can see about half to 3/4 of that one. Looks like they're just going to tap this one back a little bit.
So by making this tap, you know, they ideally sit shot and then leaving something in the back house as a potential catcher in the future.
Yeah, for sure. Look to open up the what we like to call the tee, which is the edge of the forefoot to the top of the house. Don't want to have it congested too much, so just creating some room to potentially score later in the end.
And another one that just clips the guard.
Yeah, just clipping the guard. Weight looked close. It looked like it was about back 8, so not sure if it was maybe just a little bit tight or if maybe need to take a little bit more ice. Still not bad though, ticking and rolling in.
So there, New Brunswick here playing the hit to sit too. What do you think of that shot, Dustin?
I think this is a very good call. You are 1 up playing the 4th end here, so don't need to get too aggressive. And because of the 5 rock rule, you also are not allowed to hit that corner guard quite yet, so that is a good call. I think Team New Brunswick here would be very happy to get a force Team Saskatchewan to take their single and take that all-important hammer into the second half. They have not had hammer yet here in this first half, so that is also very interesting.
As we said, though, a team that is comfortable playing without the hammer as well.
Yeah, very comfortable.
So Saskatchewan getting the nose there. But with those rocks so closely together, you think that they would have wanted to hopefully get both of them moving?
Yeah, hopefully get both of them moving. That is still a good shot, rolled into a nice position, but here we'll see Team New Brunswick elect to throw the guard, which would really cut the scoring area down.
New Brunswick second, Isaiah Downey, grade 12 student, 17 years old. Also enjoys cross country, track and field as well, and taekwondo.
Definitely a multi-sport athlete we have here. So that rock does overcurl a little bit, so Team Saskatchewan should be able to hit this red. That's definitely in not the greatest position, but usable. This is this rock is still buried a little bit, and that yellow is covering it just a bit. So still a good call. I would also maybe look to play the double peel, open it up, and try and come away from this end with a blank. But Team Saskatchewan recognizing maybe an opportunity to score their 2 points. And that is a great shot from Braden.
Beautiful shot. Skinnying those guards there.
Yeah, for sure. Just getting by them. So now Team New Brunswick will have a chance to hit and roll under here and be buried behind 2 of their center guards. Hit and rolls, though we like to say they are one of the toughest shot in curling, if not the toughest shot. They are very accurate and you have to be very precise with them. So forcing them to play a tough shot here. That rock hitting on the nose.
And with that nose hit, it takes away a little bit more of the roll opportunity that they might have had in the future now.
Yeah, for sure. It might not be there to roll underneath anymore. But Saskatchewan also has to be careful of not setting up a double. And those rocks are in the control zone for those 2 red guards, so they are very usable to run back.
So Saskatchewan aiming to get that inside roll.
Yeah, the inside roll is very important. If not, we'll set up a double. Sweeper signaling this one might be a little bit heavy, but still cleaning it. And that will leave Team New Brunswick a chance to make a double here. Team New Brunswick will probably be able to roll under here if they make this double as well.
Just the way that they're lined up there, eh?
Yeah. They might still be able to see a half rock, though. Looks close. Sweepers are cleaning this one. Oh, now calling for the curl. That one doesn't quite curl enough. Very interesting turn choice, I would say, on that one. I might have looked at playing the other turn just because the rocks would react more.
You hit it that just on the other side of the stone, I guess, eh? And it creates a little bit more movement.
Yeah, for sure. Just the way the rocks, it would cause them to spring more, a little more bounce. So still a not bad shot. Team Saskatchewan will elect to hit this one. Sweepers on this one early. Can get a nice roll under here potentially. Just getting by the guard. Nice shot from third Nathan. I think Team New Brunswick will elect to maybe play that half rock double, but we'll see.
So that half rock double there is there. Will your shooter be sticking around at that point, though?
No, your shooter would not be sticking around, but still would not be that bad of a shot. You would remove 2 yellows from play. We're now playing the run back. You potentially could be leaving Team Saskatchewan a shot to sit 3 if this is not made.
Whereas maybe with that double, you know you're at least going to get rid of one and limit the scoring opportunities at this point.
Yeah, for sure, Kyle. You would get rid of 1 or potentially 2.
Of course, you think of the risk versus reward, and if you make this shot, it's a great one.
Exactly, and even if this is made, you might be able to potentially set up that another steal point. Looks like this rock is very close. Nice shot from the skip. Does not stay in play, though, so Team Saskatchewan will have a chance to sit 2. Definitely the tolerance on that shot would have been to be a little bit wider. You could have even potentially made the double or had that rock hit and roll the other way, but still a good shot. Here we see Team Saskatchewan just discussing where this rock is best to be placed.
So they're looking at a split opportunity, it looks like, or using that rock to direct into further into the house?
Yeah, looking to play the split here. This is a very tough shot, I would say. You could also maybe play the out turn, come around your own corner guard, and Team New Brunswick might be forced to play the freeze or even just hit that one out and give up this 2 points. Playing this shot would group the stones a little bit if the weight is not perfect.
Do you think they elect to play on this side just because they're familiar with the path as opposed to maybe playing on the other side?
Yeah, that's also something to take into consideration is play what you know, and they have not played the center line coming out to the wings on the other side. So
Saskatchewan laying on the sweep here.
this looks very close. It's a great shot.
Getting that nose hit there just to tap it up.
Yeah, so maybe a bit of a plan B or C, not splitting and rolling open, but that is a very great shot from Jaden.
Does it leave a double opportunity?
I don't believe it leaves a double, actually. It looks like that other rock kind of sprung into the open, and it did overcurl a bit, so it does not look like there's a double.
So we'll be seeing a run here by the looks of it.
Yeah,
is
this is looks like Team New Brunswick is playing their run here. This is a bit of an interesting call. You can just remove this one and give up 2, where by playing this shot, you might potentially give up a 3-under. So definitely a big shot and needs to be made. So here we have Skip, Josh, Nolan for Team New Brunswick playing the run double here in the 4th end of play. This one is really curling. Nice shot from the Skip. Removes 1 yellow from play, but does leave 1 yellow that is shot stone. So Team Saskatchewan will have a chance to get their 2 points here in the 4th end of play.
Fairly good end here from the guys from the Wadena Remax Curling Club.
Yeah, great rebound end for them after giving up that steal in the 3rd end, a chance to get their 2 points. Taking ice here way out onto the board side here, so might be a little bit of an interesting draw path they are taking, that's for sure.
Seen many teams putting the broom out here. Seen it even out on the carpet at one point as well.
The ice has been curling a tremendous amount. John Wall has done an excellent job with the ice here this week.
You have to be putting it out there because you have to be mindful of that red in the top 12.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Need to be mindful of that red, and you also need to be careful about not tapping them in as well. I expect a lot of finish out here. It is a fresh path. Nathan's calling that line is good. That's a nice shot from the Skip from Wadena. Skip Jaden Bindig drawing for 2 points here in the 4th end of play.
Great end as they take a 2-1 lead heading into the 4th end break. And when we come back, New Brunswick will get their first chance with the hammer in this game. Seeing one of the big opportunities here that was just missed, a steal of 1. And the reaction from Saskatchewan, but they're back on top after this draw to take 2 in the 4th.
We are getting underway here in the second half of the game. Team Saskatchewan versus Team New Brunswick. Team Saskatchewan with the 2-1 lead here in the second half. And just looking at the efficiency after the 4 ends, we have seen a quite different style for the first half, and Saskatchewan being able to convert their 2 points here in the last end, but also giving up a steal in the third end. So I think this will be a great second half, Kyle.
I absolutely agree. New Brunswick has done a really good job, and one of the keys to their success so far at this event and in this game have just been making some key shots when it matters most. We saw Josh Nolan really make a nice shot in that third end there to get not quite a freeze attempt, but he put his rock in the perfect location, which ended up leading to that steal. And it'll be very interesting to see how they react to having the hammer in the fifth here in the second half of the game.
Yeah, for sure. Not having hammer in that first half, Team Saskatchewan holding the hammer for all 4 ends of play. Will be interesting to see if Team New Brunswick can convert a deuce here in the 5th end of play.
Quiet morning here in Sherwood Park. Only 2 other games happening in addition to our feature game here. Over to the left of us, there in the girls division, Northern Ontario leads Ontario 3-1. And over on our right, we have Ontario leading the Northwest Territories 7-1 in the boys division.
Team New Brunswick here electing not to throw the corner guard here in the 5th end, so maybe potentially might look to get what we call a soft deuce, maybe if the opportunity arises, getting their 2 points, but if not, going for the blank.
What would you say would be the advantages to going directly behind the center guard and playing it directly into the house as opposed to the corner guard there? Why would you see a team do that?
I think we would see Team New Brunswick play the come around because they might want to attempt to get a blank out of this end and not get too aggressive playing here in the 5th, as it is very important to score in the even ends of play. Another potential option, though, if they were to keep it open this end, would have been throwing it to the open wing, but coming around, also a very good call. We have seen 2 very nice draw shots from the lead of Team New Brunswick. That was a very nice freeze.
Always is great when you know your lead has that control over their weight to be able to get that exactly where you need it, because that rock placement is just so critical for any team.
Definitely critical. It's critical for every member to have draw weight on their team, but especially important for the lead. That draw weight is imperative to have to be a championship curling team.
Really sets the tone for the beginning of every end.
Yeah, it definitely does set the tone for sure. And here we see Braden just being a little bit deep on this one.
So does this give New Brunswick now an opportunity to begin forcing that blank if they were to so feel, or how, with this many rocks in play at this point, is it going to be pretty difficult to do?
Yeah, blank right now might be difficult. These players do throw a lot of weight, so they could clear some rocks, but I actually think this is an excellent opportunity for Team New Brunswick to maybe generate their 2 or even potentially 3 points with some good placement of their rocks. Sweeper signaling, this one's a bit heavy here. This rock really heavy, coming maybe potentially to the back one.
The shooter spilling further out.
Sitting 5th shot. Still a maybe potential counter in the later ends. We also often see with the arena ice here, throwing a few rocks in the exact same path over and over will make that path even faster each and every time. Maybe even more so than in a curling club. So both teams need to be cautious of the ice being really quick.
We've seen a lot of rocks go up and down this path here specifically.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like this one might be a little bit heavy too. Staying right off it. That rock just not quite what Team Saskatchewan wanted. I think Team Saskatchewan needs to be a little bit cautious of the bail point, as we like to call it. There are a lot of reds generating in play here in the fifth, and that might have been a good opportunity earlier on in the early in the end to open it up. We will see Team New Brunswick coach Daryl Nolan come out to the ice here to have a chat with his team.
So Daryl's been coaching his sons, Josh and Jacob, since day one. This team is in its second season, but Josh has been coaching for 27 years. This team finished 4th at the Canada Game Trials. Brier bronze medalist, 1997. Coached 2 junior nationals as well.
Yeah, another interesting thing about the coach, he was the team leader for Team Canada at the 2006 World Juniors.
Ah.
I imagine it is very exciting to be at a national championships with your 2 sons playing the sport you love.
Absolutely, yeah. Very excited to be able to do that and turn it into a family affair as well. Obviously, curling runs deep within the Nolan family. So what do you think they discussed there?
I think they discussed a few different options. The rocks are in fairly good positioning here, but also that yellow of theirs is in also good position. So looks like they are electing to play the come around. Put a lot of pressure on Team Saskatchewan. And I don't think we will have another blank in this end by the looks of it, hey?
No, I think we're going all in at this point, which is good. It makes for some exciting curling.
Yeah, definitely some exciting curling. And when both teams are all in, looks like when they're not bailing at all, it could also generate big ends, but also potentially steal points. So will it be interesting to see if Team Saskatchewan can maybe even get a steal in this end with so many rocks in play.
Having just been in Fredericton for the Canadian mixed doubles, one thing that I found fascinating while watching that discipline as well is how you can have so many rocks in play, yet you could still have a low-scoring game.
Yeah, definitely very interesting, and sometimes it might go the other way, but yeah, can be a ton of rocks in play, and who knows, maybe New Brunswick might score their one, or like we said, there could be a steal point sometimes that generates when there are so many rocks in play. And here we'll have third. Nathan Pomedley look to open it up here and maybe bail and get rid of a couple of red ones. Sweepers are hard on this. Nice shot from Nathan.
And then all of a sudden you're only looking at one New Brunswick counter there, and you have to be breathing a little bit easier after that.
Yeah, for sure. That was a very nice shot. Does not stick the shooter, although, but with New Brunswick coming up light on their last draw, the scoring area is becoming a lot smaller. It looks like New Brunswick here will look to draw around to sit their 2 points.
Down a path that I don't think either team has really played too much on yet.
No, they have not played this side very much, so it will be interesting to see if this side is up to speed as the other side is. Looks like this rock is hanging out a little bit wide. Should curl up in here nicely. Looks like the weight is very close on this one. Would look like to sit in the top 4 probably. Try not to sit behind the tee line. It's a nice shot there from Team New Brunswick.
All coming down to that rock placement there.
Yeah. Team Saskatchewan could look to maybe play the freeze and hit second shot here, set up a good one, but also bailing because you don't want to give up a big end is also a very good call. If you make the run really good here, you could potentially be sitting behind a guard. So big shot here from Nathan Pomedley.
These higher weight shots, they tend to be the ones that they enjoy playing too, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely as a young player, lots of like to play the speed here. It's very close. Very, very close. Great shot from Nathan.
Beautiful shot there.
Definitely a turning point shot, making the run double here in the fifth end from Nathan.
You know, we had discussed hitting it nose and staying behind shot there, but do you think that that's what they were planning to go in there, is running it back and trying to get the 2?
Yeah, potentially they might have been trying that. Either or, very good shots. I think they're equally good.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Team New Brunswick here now will look to play maybe a soft weight double or just chip and lie under. So yeah, all of a sudden, Team Saskatchewan sitting 3 here in the fifth end of play.
Amazing how quickly the composition of an end can change.
Yeah, and we did talk earlier on in the end about this end is probably not going to be a blank, but sometimes you never know when doubles and triples are made. This looks like a very nice shot, just getting by the guard. And that is a great shot. I believe maybe only sitting second shot, though. We'll see here from the overhead.
You really have to be precise in your weight with that shot.
Yes, for sure. And looks like they are sitting second shot. And that yellow at the back will be hard to remove as there are 2 yellow stones behind.
Mm-hmm.
But also, playing the run would be tough also because there is a jam potentially.
Yeah, there's tons to catch on there, especially in that back right-hand corner there with that group of yellow stones.
Yeah, and if this run is made, there, like we said, you never know. This end could end up being a blank still. Team Saskatchewan is sitting 1 here, so I might look at even playing the draw to sit 2 here and maybe put a lot of pressure on Team New Brunswick. This might give Team New Brunswick an out here to potentially still score their 1 point. Would you look at playing the draw here potentially, Kyle, seeing as you are sitting 1?
That's what I would do. I mean, I would play what I know best, which would definitely be the draw. I think it's a little bit more of an aggressive call here.
Yeah, and those reds are lined up that they might just very well jam, but we will see here. Ooh, and that's a tough one from Jaden. Just hitting it a bit too high side. Looks like Team New Brunswick here has a nose hit 2 sit 3 here in the fifth end. Funny how things are turning here very fast.
This has been a roller coaster of an end here.
It's just going back and forth, and very well still could. There is definitely a nose hit to sit 3 though. Team New Brunswick taking a little bit of ice here, so must not be throwing a ton of weight here. Nice controlled weight. Just important to get both of the rocks to go and stick your shooter. So yeah, nose hit to sit 3 here for Skip of New Brunswick. First Skip stone here in the fifth end of play.
Would be a great position to be in with Hammer.
Yeah, big 3 points. Take a 2-point lead would be massive. Oh, looks like making this rock curl. This one looks a little bit high side. Nice shot from Skip of New Brunswick, sitting 3 points here in the fifth end of play. Here we see the replay. And doesn't even throw this very hard. A nice controlled normal weight takeout. Make the double. Make sure you stick your shooter.
Quite ideal from the team, as you mentioned. Yeah, not needing a lot of weight with those rocks being so close together. Avoiding any jam possibility. And those rocks are all very nicely separated as well in the house.
Yeah, they are all very nicely separated. Nice hit and roll here from Jaden. Looks like we will have a coach timeout from Team Saskatchewan. Vern Anderson will come out onto the ice.
So Vern Anderson coming to talk to the team. And he was your coach, as a matter of fact, at one point at the Optimist U-18s when you were competing there with members of this team.
Yeah, before moving to Alberta, Vern Anderson was my coach for 2 years. He has coached at the U-18 Internationals and did coach us 3 years ago to the gold medal. He has a lot of experience coaching, but also as a player, having won the World Senior Championships.
You had that experience at the Optimist, of course, that being an international event, and then you've also gotten to see the other side of it in the most recent years, where this became a Canadian U-18 championship. What are your thoughts on how on the differences and how it's kind of progressed?
Yeah, there definitely has been a progression in U-18 curling in the last 15 years. The Optimist running for about 15 to 20 years, and then in 2017, Curling Canada taking over for a national championship. At the internationals, there was a few teams from the United States along with Japan. But having a national championship is also a great step in the right direction, having all the provinces having a chance to compete at a high level on excellent arena ice conditions. It is a great step forward and gives these young players more experience and even potentially more of a chance to even develop their skills before moving up into the junior play and competing at the junior nationals.
All part of that long-term athlete development strategy, being able to put these young athletes in positions to gain this valuable experience, because we are looking at future Brier, Scotties champions, Olympic champions, all here in the venue this week.
We are looking at them, and this event in 2017, Tyler Tardy was at the same event and has now won the back-to-back World Junior gold medals. So this, and we have a little bit of a medical situation happening with second Braden Fleshhacker. We'll just this rock will be thrown in a second. But yeah, so this event is definitely propels these young U-18 athletes to future development. This looks like maybe a little cut on the finger here from Braden. Looks like coach and maybe a little bit of a team medical doctor, Vern Anderson, bringing out the Band-Aids for Braden. Here we see the nice run double from Nathan Pomedley. 3 Saskatchewan rocks. And this is just a little bit of a questionable call, especially since they were sitting shot stone, but and might be just the key turning point, the TSN key turning point in this game.
It's been a very back and forth end for these teams.
Yes, for sure.
As we take a bit of an injury timeout here. Don't quite know what happened to the knuckle there, but it just looks like it's a Band-Aid minor fix, and looks like we're almost good to go here again.
We see the stands on the end of the sheet here at this national championship. It's a little bit of a smaller seating arena, so the fans do get to sit right behind the sheet, as we see some Team New Brunswick and Team Saskatchewan parents, fans, friends. So very cool part, having all of these people sitting right behind our sheet. Get a nice and up-close personal look. And they're probably watching the live stream here, listening and They can see themselves here.
Watching themselves.
Yeah,
There
see
they
the
are.
Team New Brunswick waving. Yeah, we see, I think even Carrie Fleshacker, the mom of Brayden, listening to the live stream here. So listening, but also watching her son live here in Sherwood Park. And that's Mom Farah of Ethan, also watching, I believe, listening.
The Saskatchewan girls team also in the crowd cheering on the guys this morning as well.
Yeah, great provincial support from the other team coming to watch here this morning, not playing. So even maybe get a chance to learn a little bit about the ice and what's happening this morning, but also just cheering on their Saskatchewan teammates.
And that's one of the unique things about any event like this as well, is you get to mingle with both the men and the women in it. You get to form new friendships and bonds as well.
Looks like we will have ice technician John Wall come out to the ice. I'm not sure if there was a little bit of blood on the ice or what happened, but we will see what is happening. Looks like he is coming out with just a little scraper here. Might have been a little bit of blood. And we'll sweep that off of the ice, and might have to put a little bit more pebble down in that spot. A very interesting turn of events in this end here.
First time for everything, absolutely. Yeah, so you can see the scrape there.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like there was a little bit of
looks like there is.
We will get that off of the ice, and we will be underway here shortly. Looks like he will not be pebbling, and this shot will be thrown, maybe potentially because it's not being thrown in that spot, but definitely interesting to scrape off a little bit, and looks like the front end will clean that spot over.
Unique set of circumstances.
That's for sure. So this is Skip Stone, last rock from Team Saskatchewan, looking to potentially play the double here and minimize the scoring for Team New Brunswick. Sweepers are on this one right away and hits it on the nose.
Really hoping to get rid of two there.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Team New Brunswick will have a precise hit through for 3 points here in the fifth end of play.
You still
Here's to the replay.
Still have to be mindful of those rocks in the back house there as well.
That's for sure. They definitely have to be mindful of them. It could potentially create a jam situation. Looks like they're going to play half a rock and try and not run into those back red ones.
Avoiding the port between them and just kind of punching it off to the side there, it looks like.
Yeah. So here we have Skip of Team New Brunswick, last rock in the fifth end of play here, looking to play the hit for 3, and the sweepers are on this right away. Oh, off it now. And jams on the back one, but that will still be a big 2 points for Team New Brunswick.
So you could see them calling for a plan B, waiting for it to curl up there, and just didn't quite get it enough, eh?
No, didn't quite get it enough, but still a good shot. Definitely massive to score 2 points and convert with the hammer.
Absolutely. So there you see it. A shot for 2.
And here we see the score breakdown after the fifth end of play. Our first 2 ends very open. We had the blank, and then we saw Team Saskatchewan did have a hit for 3 in the third end, but unfortunately racking, and there was a bit of a jam. So steal of 1 for New Brunswick. And in the fourth end, Team Saskatchewan managing to play that wide out-turn draw into the forefoot, generating their 2 points. And it did show that Team New Brunswick did get 3, but it was in fact only 2 rocks, 2 points, but they did convert with the hammer.
Taking a 3-2 lead now. First chance at the hammer there as well, so a good opportunity for them. And we see New Brunswick playing it into the house here.
Yeah, Team New Brunswick throwing it into the top 8 foot. Maybe would have liked it to be in the 4 foot, but still a good rock, and not throwing up the center guard. So, but I still think they would very much want a force here in the 6th. This rock needs to curl a little bit here. Should finish here nicely.
Great corner guard, I'd say. Nice and close.
Yeah, a little bit of an off-center corner guard, I would say. Doesn't quite get out there, so that will block the intern draw path. But also that intern draw path we have not seen been played at all this game, so.
It's true, we have seen a lot of out turns. Intern for any of those lefties out there.
It's like this rock is a little bit heavy potentially, but looks pretty close. I think they're planning on throwing this into the top 12.
They'd ideally want it frozen here.
Nice shot from the lead. The lead for Team New Brunswick has been curling very good this game, making a lot of precise shots.
It's Jacob Nolan in his first nationals here.
The first national live stream game, so very impressive to see nice draw weight from him here.
Very good for the 15-year-old grade 10 student. Not sure what he'd like to do when he finishes school, but something with computers, he
nice,
believes.
That's awesome.
And
yeah, 15, very young for a national championship, but there are lots of players here in between the ages of anywhere from 13 to 18. So there is a little bit actually of a age gap between some of these athletes, but still honing their skills and playing great here.
Yeah, pretty fascinating field when you can consider that you do have some in grade 10 and then others who are in their first year of university as well.
Exactly. Last year, we were all in our first year of university and playing against some people in grade 9 or 10, but they are still obviously here for a reason, winning their provincial championship, so still great curlers in their own right.
Absolutely. Everyone earned their opportunity to get here through a provincial or territorial championship at some point.
Here we see the draw from the second of Team New Brunswick going top button. Looks like Team Saskatchewan will look to play the hit and roll here behind their off-center corner guard. Second, Braden Fleshhacker.
Band-Aid in tow.
This rock is curling quite a bit. We'll hit it on the nose. Looks like Team New Brunswick will elect to play the hit as well. Team New Brunswick would like to stay away from hitting and rolling behind the corner guard, as that would be an advantage for Team Saskatchewan to use potentially to freeze, but at the same time doesn't want to roll on the side of rolling out as well or setting up an easy double. New Brunswick calling for the curl here. This rock is a very wide and will hit and roll out. And Team Saskatchewan will elect to play the come around.
What would be the advantages to playing that come around as opposed to making the hit on that open stone?
I would say the advantages is you're trying to score your 2 points, so you do need to generate some offense, and hitting back and forth would not be ideal for Team Saskatchewan. So playing the come around here to generate the 2 points potentially.
And since we are in an even end, I imagine that is taken into account as well, wanting to try and generate a deuce here in the even end.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely very important, especially if Team Saskatchewan can score in the 6th and 8th end. That means right now they have 2 hammers to 1 left.
That one not quite making it past that corner now, putting it more into a traditional corner guard spot.
Sweepers are hard on this one, trying to get it around the center guard. Looks like it's going to come very close and just chip off, and that will spin the Team Saskatchewan rock also into play. So Team Saskatchewan will have a double and roll to sit 2 points.
Just clipped it in there. Worked out well for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, that's actually a very good shot for Team Saskatchewan's favor here. Here we see the replay, just not quite getting it by. Looks like the weight was very good. Team New Brunswick won't be happy with that one. This one running straight as well. And hitting and rolling out high side. So advantage back to Team New Brunswick. I'm not sure if that was just maybe a little bit more weight than they were asking, or just needs to take a little bit less ice in that spot.
Seems like there's maybe been a little bit of struggle in just quite figuring that out. A couple of them have just hit that front rock in the top 12 or just in front a couple of times here.
Yeah. So Team New Brunswick will attempt to play the hit and roll into the rings. I think both teams are pretty happy right now. Obviously, Saskatchewan would like to score their 2 points, but also I don't think a blank would be too bad as either. We'll see if this rock rolls out, and it does roll out of the rings. Here we see Team New Brunswick sweeping to try and make the rock curl, try and make it finish. So here we see Team Saskatchewan again attempting to use their corner guard, come around. Now that rock is a little bit over because of it being chipped over, so it's in a very good spot for them. Maybe just a little bit heavy. Nice finish here. Not too bad of a rock. Would have liked it to stop a little bit higher, as it does leave a little bit more room to maybe play a hack waiter or potentially a freeze. Looks like they will attempt to remove it. That rock is very buried. It's probably about 75% buried, 3/4-ish. So this is also a very precise shot here coming from New Brunswick.
What kind of weight do you think they're going to need to throw here?
I think they're going to have to throw hack to back line on this one. A board would probably be a little bit too much, but we have seen a lot of finish late. So definitely an opportunity to tap this out and sit there too. See a very loud Ontario crowd cheer here.
Small but mighty. I like it.
Only 3 sheets in action this morning, but very loud. And here we have Skip, Josh, Nolan. Sweepers are hard on this one. This one looks a little bit tight. Might have to try and hit and roll in. This one will hit and roll in. It's a good, just gets by that one. Good plan, interesting plan B. I don't think they sat for shot, but so Team Saskatchewan will have a chance to freeze. But still a good plan B. It's not too bad. Would have liked to tap it through, but again, could not see very much of that rock, so definitely still a good shot.
And that comes to the team's communication there, realizing that it was over curling, so they were able to effectively manage a plan B.
Exactly. So we have Skip Jaden Bindig, first rock for him here in the 6th end. Sweeper's calling that the weight is good, and the line is as well. Nathan calling them to switch to get some curl, but This rock is a little bit light, it looks like. So looks like Team New Brunswick will have a hit to sit 2 here in the 6th end, but without last rock.
Could be a good opportunity to force.
Yeah, definitely a good opportunity to force Saskatchewan to take their single point. That path might have been a little bit slower, hasn't been played as much, but still pretty close. So Team New Brunswick will have a chance to sit 2. Here we have skip Josh Nolan calling right off of this one right away. This rock needs to curl. And will hit and roll out of play. So it looks like Team Saskatchewan will have a kind of a run and roll in here for 2. Still a tough shot. Potentially also could maybe play a split.
Couple of options. Looks like they're looking at that split. It looks like that would be the easier of the 2 shots.
Yeah, I think the split is the call here. You are down 1 point here, so getting that 2 is massive. But again, scoring here is also very important. It's tough with this rock because if you over curl and you nose it, you will not be sitting 2 as that red one is a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of a little bit of a tricky shot here on the last rock for Jaden Bindig in the 6th end. Sweeper's calling this one's back 8, so that's pretty close weight. Just needs to get the line. It's close. Is it going to curl up enough? New Brunswick sweeps that one, but did not get on it right away, actually. New Brunswick was not quite
at the ready, yeah.
No, but I think they're still signaling that it is 1 for Team New Brunswick. So it will be a steal of 1 here for Team New Brunswick here in the 6th end of play, and they will go up 4-2 against Team Saskatchewan.
Another stolen end.
Yeah, very interesting, as the coach did talk about that prior to the game, about Team New Brunswick generating lots of steals.
All comes down to that last rock throwing as well. Very important for them to be able to get those opportunities and taking advantage of some errors as well.
Yeah, for sure. A couple errors from Team Saskatchewan. That was a very tough shot. I might have looked at even just taking the single, but like we said, being down 2, getting 2 would have been massive. So that one also might have just been a little bit more weight than they needed to play to make that split.
We have one final in our 3-game draw here this morning. Ontario picking up their 3rd win of the championship, now at 3-2. They defeated the Northwest Territories in the Boydus division 10-1.
And an update on the girls' game between Team Ontario and Team Northern Ontario. Team Ontario picking up the steal in the 6th end to go to a tied game 3-3 heading into the 7th end, with Northern Ontario having the hammer. That girls' game is also a big game for their round robin, as Ontario is currently at 2-2 and Northern Ontario is at 3-1.
Every game's so important this late into the championship, especially when you have that 500 record like Ontario does. A win right here is really going to put them back into the mix and level their record with Northern Ontario if they do pull it out.
Yeah, a 3-2 record versus a 2-3. You would give yourself a little bit more of a leeway heading into that last game. Wouldn't be a must-win, but they do have one more round robin game after. So here in the 7th end of play, Saskatchewan having the hammer.
We see a center guard and a corner guard set up here.
Yeah, so we do have some rocks in play here already. Team New Brunswick might have looked at playing a top 4, top 8. This one coming very heavy. Looks like it will slip through the rings. I think Team New Brunswick would be more than happy to force Team Saskatchewan to a single, or even potentially give up their 2 points to have hammer in the last end. We have seen at these national championships with the 5 rock, being down 2 with the hammer in the last end is sometimes not the worst scenario, as 3s can generate very easily.
I can think of 2 instances this week where a team was down 3, needing to score the 3 to tie, and then stealing in extra ends to win.
It does happen a lot now with the 5 rock, that's for sure. Looks like Ethan's won't curl up quite enough, and we'll split that one off. So here we see the 5 rock rule coming into play. Team New Brunswick not being able to peel the corner guards quite yet, so we'll look to come around top 4. Here we have second, Isaiah Downey. Prior to the game, talking to the teams, second Braden Fleshacker did state how it is important to get proper rock placement, so we will see if their rock placement can be perfect here in the last 2 ends.
So Saskatchewan will need to take a little more ice than they did last time due to rubbing on that guard on their previous shot.
Yeah, Team New Brunswick won't be happy. That one slipping into the back 4. Definitely a usable rock for Team Saskatchewan.
Waiting for it just to curl. Then as soon as it starts bending, you see the Saskatchewan sweepers guiding it in.
Great sweep. And Team New Brunswick electing not to play the peel, but rather play the come around. A very interesting call, I would say.
That is an interesting one for sure, especially you really want to be limiting Saskatchewan's opportunities, and you put it in here, you put it in the wrong spot, it can create some kind of a double opportunity, and all of a sudden you could be chasing for this end.
Yeah, not electing to play the double peel here, Team Saskatchewan would definitely be very happy about, but New Brunswick, they do like to steal here, so maybe looking to put some rocks in play and try and get that steal point again. Trying to sweep for the curl, saying it has to come around the corner guard. Some nice finish on this rock. But that will only be about 3/4 buried, so maybe we'll elect to play the double. Or even potentially a hit and roll in.
Hack weight hit and roll by the looks of it. Very precise shot.
Yeah, just maybe looking to tap those rocks around, maybe create a little bit of a place for backing. Multi-sport athlete Braden Fleshacker is a ball player, has won 5 provincial titles, has been silver Western Canadian Baseball Championships, and has 1 provincial volleyball title.
A lot to be said about these multi-sport athletes, I gotta say. It really helps develop you as an overall athlete, being able to succeed and learn strategy and mindsets, I think, of all sports as opposed to just specializing in one.
Yeah, we see a lot of multi-sport athletes here in the arena today, and definitely, like you said, you can develop different skills by playing other sports. And sometimes when you get to the later stages in high school, you get to you have some tough decisions to make regarding sports and whether to really focus on one sport or continue to play other sports. I know Braden still did play volleyball and did compete in other sports still in grade 12, so very impressive to be juggling and still be a national level curler.
A lot to be said about picking two sports that complement each other well, like a summer sport and a winter sport.
Exactly. Team New Brunswick tapping that one back a little bit. Team Saskatchewan sitting 1 here. And here we have third, Nathan Pomedley. Also a softball competitor at national championships and is the top student in his class in Wadena.
Ooh.
So not only an athlete, but also takes academics seriously. This is a very hard sweep from Team Saskatchewan. Just gets it by the guard. Ooh, great shot from Nathan.
Wonderful. Had to come in with a lot of accuracy there.
That got very tight to the guard, very close, and also close to this yellow one.
Did he? Yeah. I thought
Just
he
gets by.
Just got by. I wasn't sure if he just kissed it or something.
Here we see the replay. Great sweep from farm boy Braden.
You're touching on academics, and not only that, an athletic ability, and then volunteerism is also a very important one that Curling Canada does take a lot into consideration when it comes to scholarships as well. Something like the For the Love of Curling scholarship that Dustin, you know a little bit about as a recipient.
I do know a little bit about the For Love of Curling scholarship. It is a great scholarship program, having received being one of 10 scholars this year. And volunteering is a very important part, giving back to the sport to receive scholarships, but also in general, just to give back to your sport. Curling gives us athletes a lot about life, friends, and just determination and all those other qualities that you need to succeed. And the scholarship program does give athletes a chance to not have to worry financially about balancing university and curling expenses at the same time. So very grateful to be a part of that.
That scholarship is through the Curling Canada Foundation, and that foundation also plays a big role in this event here, making sure that these players get everything that they need to experience these conditions, both on the ice and the atmosphere of the event. A very worthy cause to be able to help support future curlers in their growth and development.
For sure. I actually believe 6 out of 10 of the recipients this year were at the Canadian Juniors. So definitely all deserving. And one of the parts about the foundation is we do a fundraiser as a part of it. And on Sunday during the finals, Selena Sturmey and I will be doing a fantastic fundraiser during the finals. As well for the foundation, they will be looking for new scholars for next year, so stay tuned to the Curling Canada Foundation website in the near future. I believe May 1st is when the new scholarship applications are put out.
A good opportunity for many of the athletes that are here competing, as many are in that grade 11, grade 12 range, where they will be looking at some post-secondary options in the future as well.
Yeah, for sure. Many of these students in grade 12, but also in grade 10 and 11, maybe would like to look at doing some more volunteering and giving back to the sport, along with attending to their curling and academic sides of the scholarship as well. Here we see a discussion from Team New Brunswick. I believe Team Saskatchewan is sitting 1 here, Team Saskatchewan is sitting 1 and Team New Brunswick is second shot, as that last one did come up a little bit light.
And if you're New Brunswick, you'd have to think that trying to force to 1 would be a pretty good result here.
That would be a great result for Team New Brunswick, forcing Team Saskatchewan to take their 1 point. even if Team Saskatchewan does manage to get 2, being tied in the last stand with the hammer is also a very good situation.
Mm-hmm.
So here we'll see Skip of Team New Brunswick look to put this one potentially in a guard situation, or tight to the rings.
Their main priority here would just be to block that path to the scoring zone.
Yeah, exactly. Make it tough on Team Saskatchewan. They do have a couple yellows they can run in, but they are very tight. This rock looks very close. Line looks good. Looks like they're saying it's over curling. And this one will over curl. Still a tough port to navigate, though.
Yeah, lots of granite up in the free guard zone area there.
I like this call from Team Saskatchewan playing the double peel. That would be one very lonely red rock in play, as another big end could be generated by removing both of these guards. I guess just trying to make sure you have enough scoring room to score those 2 points.
Yeah, and at this point, it just doesn't look like that they have that room available to them without opening something up here.
No, the double peel is definitely the call, that's for sure.
We'll see Vern Anderson here again. Saskatchewan calling a timeout.
Here we'll try and hear what Team Saskatchewan coach and players are talking about. Vern is also a Canadian Master champion. Canadian Masters are going on right now at the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon.
So when it comes to guidance from a coach, it doesn't seem like that. It seems like Vern is one of the best.
He is definitely one of the best coaches, having lots of playing experience behind him. Having started coaching in 2016, actually, the first year.
Ah.
Here we see the replay of this one, just getting tight to all 3 of those rocks, but still managing to stay around. Looked like quite a bit of weight, actually, on that one. It kind of rolled maybe a little bit farther than they were expecting, so maybe needed to play a little bit less weight. And this rock here just being a little bit heavy, slipping through the rings. And this guard over curling. So we'll see what Team Saskatchewan has decided. Looks like they're lining up the run back.
So looking at the run back as opposed to maybe clearing out something with the double peel, would you have to be mindful of, I guess, where your shooter is maybe when if you're throwing that, and maybe sticking it, or would it roll too far away?
Yeah, you definitely do have to be mindful of that. I'm not I assume they're trying to run it onto the red to remove it. This is a very tough shot, and if not made, would be very difficult to score 2 points. Maybe actually playing a little softer weight, it looks like.
Looks like, yeah.
So maybe a more of a controlled weight, make sure to stick around. Nathan saying this one's a little bit wide. Looks like it will just go by.
Yeah, so it looks like they wanted that soft weight just to punch it in there. Sit shot, run it in, and just tap out that red, which would have tapped it, I guess, out from that pile within the guards, or from under cover of the guards.
Yeah, just looking to tap it out. Very precise shot, but yet also realizing that they are 2 down and do need to generate. Again, I would have thought maybe playing the double peel on the reds, that would have maybe opened it up a little bit, allowing them to maybe pick out the red. But Coach Vern thought maybe playing the run to sit 4 was also a very good option, which if it was made, definitely would have been.
Mm-hmm.
So Team New Brunswick here looking to force Team Saskatchewan here in the 7th end of play. Might have to look of taking away that hole or potentially taking away that run back 4-4, as Jaden did just play that spot.
That's another thing, too. You don't want to leave a skip a shot twice.
No, you never do. They will make it. There is a little bit of a port there, so maybe they are going to look to try and navigate it. Looks like they are. This is a pretty tight port also, but oh, maybe not. They might be looking to guard it.
So are they just looking to jumble up the angles a little bit on those two out there? Or
yeah,
guarding
I think
the port?
Yeah, I think they're trying to guard the port or maybe potentially freeze onto that one, but
Okay.
This is tighter ice. It's only mid-12. I would have maybe looked at playing just a guard in between those 2 yellow corner guards because that port is so tight. And if you did come around it, there would be very little room to score the 2 points as the Rock would be curling. So we have skip of Team New Brunswick. Last Rock for him in the 7th end of play. Calling for this Rock to curl. Looks like it will be racking on the guard. Just racks. Yeah, that was definitely a difficult shot, I would say, and might have left a double on these side reds for maybe 3, potentially. Just a very tough shot, actually. I think they made that a little bit too hard on themselves.
Mm-hmm. So we see Saskatchewan looking at the other side of the house and not taking a look at those 2 red rocks.
So potentially coming off their own for 3. Also a way to get 3. And it would be a half a rock on that red, which is difficult. This is also difficult as well, navigating the port though. So I think it's kind of, so I guess it's whichever one you want to play, whichever one you're more comfortable with.
Probably don't have to hit much of that rock, eh?
Yeah, about a quarter rock should be close on this one. Okay, this is where he threw the run back in the 5th end, I believe. So you should know this spot. Just a bit wide. So last rock for Team Saskatchewan, and that will be 1 point for them. And Team New Brunswick will take a 1-point lead with the hammer into the 8th end of play. Here we see the replay, just not quite curling up enough.
The reaction says a lot as well. We begin our 8th end of play here. New Brunswick now with a 1-point lead and having hammer. But still a lot of work to be done here in the final end as Saskatchewan will throw up their first rock center guard here.
Yeah, in the game against Alberta 2, the host team this week, they did steal 2 in the last end to win that game 7-5. And as well on Wednesday night, they had PEI was up by 1 in the last end, and they actually stole, and they did not let them go to an extra. So they're definitely both good stealing teams. So we will see if Team Saskatchewan can steal to go to an extra or potentially win this game.
That was a great first rock there. As we see a tick shot attempt here.
This rock is curling. Maybe just a little bit heavy. It will go to play, so that rock will go back. Just need to hit that rock a little bit thinner.
Very difficult shot to manage and to master. Is it any different when you're playing it out on an arena ice condition like this as opposed to curling club ice?
Yeah, in the arena, you might find that sweepers can be used a bit more effectively, making the rock curl or potentially run a little bit straighter. So ticks might be a little bit easier in the arena, but still definitely a tough curling shot. But I would assume Team New Brunswick, they have a strategy going in that they would call the tick and that they've potentially been doing this all year. So. That one slipping a little bit deep. Ethan's first one being halfway, would have liked to be either been really tight or really high to allow more separation between the two guards. So this will make the double peel a little bit easier for Team New Brunswick. Team New Brunswick electing not to play the tick shot on this.
Instead, they're going to try and get one here behind.
Yeah, there's the old try and get to the 4 foot first, that's for sure. See if this rock comes down. And that is a great shot from the lead. Maybe slipping a little bit deep, but still a great shot.
A turkey shot for sure. Jacob having a great game, I must say, throughout. Really good, really good opportunities to be able to have that control, that controlled weight, and he's really placed his shots where he's needed to set his team up for some important steals. Yeah,
he really has been having a great game, putting a lot of pressure and setting up the ends very well for Team New Brunswick. I think Braden will chip this one a little bit. And Team New Brunswick will elect to play the double peel here. What a great shot.
Great shot.
Opens it up. But that yellow now shot rock.
Yeah, just driving it back.
This is where you want to take an extra breath if you're Team Saskatchewan throwing these draws. Like we said, first national live stream game. And it can just feel a little bit faster underfoot, so try and manage the emotions and use your sweepers here.
And this one just over curling a touch.
So we will see if Team New Brunswick does elect to play the double peel or go right after this yellow. I would say these two guards are the more dangerous rocks for Team New Brunswick because it does block that one side. And we will see him elect to play the double peel.
They're lined up quite nicely too.
Yeah, they're very close together. Still a tough shot, but definitely the right call here, I would say. Looks a little bit tight on this one.
A little shaky, I think, coming out.
I think so, yeah. That's where we talk about the nerves a little bit. And he will hit this on the nose, and that will go right through the goalpost.
Wasn't ideal. Well, I mean, they would have liked to clip out that Saskatchewan stone, of course, but leaving theirs untouched, which is very important.
For sure. Nathan thinks this one might be a bit heavy. Nice shot there. That's a great spot, splitting the center line, guards that rock. Not too high, so in the ideal position for sure.
An update to the left of us there in our girls game between Ontario and Northern Ontario. Ontario scoring 1 in the 8th, tying it up 4-4, so they're actually going into their 9th and extra end here.
Team New Brunswick making the peel here. Nice throw. So I think Team Saskatchewan just looking to maybe steal their one, use this as their steal point.
So they'll continue guarding this for dear life.
That's for sure. Does not want this one to stop too high, or else Team New Brunswick may elect to take this one out. This one coming in nicely. Just needs to get a little bit of finish. Nice shot. It's always nice to make your opponent think about playing two different shots, as they are right now, thinking about potentially hitting. But if they don't get by and wick off, yeah, the time clock's coming into play here a little bit. Team New Brunswick has just over 2 minutes, and Saskatchewan already under 2 minutes. Team Saskatchewan has used both of their timeouts.
New Brunswick with 1 left, I believe.
I believe so. Maybe potentially playing the run back here. Kind of getting caught in between, but still a good shot. But potentially blocking that draw path a little bit, actually.
Pretty good, yeah.
Here we see the replay. Kind of getting caught in between whether to play the run back or maybe just hit and roll out.
Yeah, it would pose an issue.
This rock does get over the hog line, a little bit light. And that will leave a hole for Team New Brunswick to punch this rock out of play. Still very tight, though.
You're essentially looking for what, some back 8, back 12 weight here, or are you playing more of a freeze to it at this point?
Looks like Team New Brunswick is playing the freeze, surprisingly enough. We're directly behind the sheet, and there's about a rock and a half port here, and that guard is so high that you could play a hack waiter and remove it.
Mm-hmm.
And wicking off a guard or just chipping a guard here might give Team Saskatchewan a chance to sit 2 for New Brunswick's last. Skip Josh has had excellent draw weight this game, saying that this one needs to curl.
Aggressive call from an aggressive team.
Yeah, and even the peel might have been an option, but does raise that red into play.
Like you'd mentioned, is taking away that draw path there.
I would actually look at guarding potentially the other side, because there is about, like I said, a rock and a half hole where he could play a hack waiter through.
Mm-hmm.
I would also look at playing an intern draw to sit 2. If you ever could come in, intern, sit, bite the forefoot and sit your 2, Team New Brunswick would have a very tough shot for the win, and even potentially playing against the loss.
You can sense a little bit of anxiousness.
Jaden has 35 seconds to throw this rock, and they are very close. Jaden will make his way down now. He has 27 seconds left to throw this one. Should be enough time.
Enough time to settle in now. Of course, teams playing with the clock, especially if it's newer, it does have an impact in it. 15 now.
Yeah, both teams would have played at the provincials with Glocks, but here shooting the last one. With 8 seconds left, here is Skip Jaden's last rock in the 8th end. Sweepers are on this one. So not getting second shot. Team New Brunswick will call their last timeout, and we will see coach of Team New Brunswick come out.
Daryl Nolan here, getting one last chance to talk to the guys before we wrap up this 8th end.
I believe the only shot for him is potentially a run back or also this in-turn through the port, about hack-to-back line weight.
That's what he's icing for right now, potentially, eh?
Yeah, for sure. Potentially playing their run back could be a bit dicey because you could also take your own out and that would be a loss. So this is definitely a good call. Probably looking to play about hack-to-back line weight.
Lots of time left here for Josh Nolan to settle into his routine.
Yeah, 20 seconds left, and definitely not a ton of time, but enough to throw your last rock. Oh, sorry, that is the timeout.
That's his timeout.
So he does have time after this. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you see the time in the back. So he does have 1 minute and 30 seconds to throw this last rock.
I wouldn't want to spend 1:30 in the hack.
So here we have Skip of Team New Brunswick, last rock in the 8th end. Looking to navigate the port. And just gets through, and that will be the win for Team New Brunswick, picking up their single. That will be a 5-3 win over Team Saskatchewan to improve to 4-1, and Team Saskatchewan drops to 3-2.
Great shot from the guys there. Great communication to it throughout to navigate that port.
That was an excellent played game by both teams here, Kyle.
Absolutely. It's going to give New Brunswick a lot of confidence going forward here with that 4-1 record.
Yeah, taking that 4-1 record, and with one round-robin game left, it's a big win for the confidence heading into the weekend. Team Saskatchewan will close their round-robin against Team Nova Scotia. We're about to see the highlights from the game. This rock just chipping that top one, resulting in the steal of 1, giving Team New Brunswick the first point of the game, which might have shifted the momentum their way a bit to start.
And of course, we saw an attempt to score here from Saskatchewan. Rock not curling up enough.
And here we see the last rock of the game, navigating the port. Team New Brunswick just picking this rock out.
Taking their 1 and that 5-3 victory here against Saskatchewan. They'll close out this afternoon against Newfoundland and Labrador at 2 p.m. Well, on behalf of Dustin and myself here, thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll be back at 2 p.m. for the next game.
Thank you, everybody.